Buckle up because today we're diving deep into one of the wildest stories to come out of Chicago drill in recent years. We're talking about Q50, a rapper whose life reads like a movie script, except this is all real. From shootouts to scams, from lost to legend, this is the story of Q50 and the Bloodhounds. And trust me, you're gonna want to hear every second of this. Now listen, we gotta start with what went down in St. Louis back in August 2025, because this is where things got real messy. Word started spreading like wildfire that Q50 had been shot.
Tell they ass check on Q50, man. They done parked this shit down there.
Claiming he got hit, the whole 9 yards. A video surfaced showing chaos outside a hospital, and people were convinced Q50 was inside fighting for his life. Rumors started flying that he might even be dead. But here's the thing, no official reports came out. Nothing from the police, nothing from hospitals, nothing concrete. And Q50, he stayed completely silent. Now y'all know what silence does. On social media, right? It makes people go crazy with speculation. Folks were writing eulogies, making tribute posts, the whole thing. But then, and here's where it gets wild, Q50 went live. And he wasn't mourning, he wasn't hurt. He was straight up trolling his enemies.
Free body, free money, like you. I best make that 60K.
Everybody started asking was, why did this even happen? Here's where the plot thickens. Allegedly, and I gotta say allegedly, because the stories get messy. Here, the whole drama started after Q50 allegedly stole $60,000 in St. Louis. $60,000. Now, there's conflicting stories about how this went down. Some people say he robbed a promoter who was supposed to pay him for a show. Other folks say he finessed a plug by selling him fake methamphetamine and ran off with the cash. Either way, somebody in St. Louis was apparently out 60 bands and they were not happy about it. So what happened? Well, according to the streets, Q50 was booked for another show in St. Louis, and the goons who lost that money, they were waiting for him. They allegedly caught him lacking, caught him slipping, and that's when his car got shot up. It's like they were sending a message. You can run, but you can't hide. Now here's where another character enters this saga. Y'all ever heard of CTS Lil Wick? He's a white drill rapper who allegedly had some connection to what went down in St. Louis. Things got real suspicious when Lil Wick's homie, a guy named Houdini Real, started bragging online. He posted something along the lines of never popping someone that famous, which immediately made people look at him sideways. Like, what are you trying to say, bro?
I don't think he gonna make it, but we gonna see. I ain't never popped nobody that famous before. It's my first time.
Rumors started circulating that CTS Lil Wick was actually the one Q50 scammed for that $60,000. And when people started asking questions, Lil Wick came out and denied losing any money. But, and this is a big but, he admitted to trying to take someone out. Like, sir, you're not helping your case here.
Bro, go get your 60 back. They ain't take 60 from me. They ain't take nothing from me, gang. Yeah, bro. They ain't take shit from me. I was trying to take something from them. In life.
Then things got even more complicated. A Chicago affiliate allegedly confirmed Wick's side of the story and tagged some St. Louis shooters in posts. And get this, Lil Dre from 9 to 5 Mob publicly praised the St. Louis goons who shot up Q50's car. He made a whole post about it, then deleted it after catching backlash. But you know how the internet is. Screenshots are forever. Now y'all know Q50 wasn't about to let this slide, right? He did what rappers do best. He went straight to the studio. He dropped a track called 60K where he straight up dissed the entire city of St. Louis. In the song, he's mocking the city, mocking his enemies, and bragging about surviving the alleged hit. He's talking reckless, letting everybody know he's still standing, and he's not scared. He even dissed CTS Lil Wick directly, calling him out for being a white boy, and warning him to stay in his lane. But here's the craziest part. Q50 actually admitted in the track to selling fake meth to out-of-town goofies. Like, he literally confirmed the scam in his own lyrics. The audacity of this man is unmatched. Of course, CTS Lil Wick and his crew weren't about to take that lying down. Him and another rapper named Sumo Dub dropped a response track called Bloodhound Diss, and they went in. They mocked Q50.
They said y'all niggas did it. They thought y'all had shot Q50 up.
Man, we don't know nothing about nothing. They said a lot of people did that shit, man.
We did that shit, nigga.
Nah.
We did it.
They said a lot of shit about that shit. We don't know nothing about nothing.
They brought up Lil Jeff's death, which we'll get to in a minute, and they detailed alleged shootings. This wasn't just rap beef. This felt personal.
Beasky B.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
So this not no overnight shit? Like,
Nah, this
there?
ain't no just overnight internet shit. You know what I'm saying? It's more behind the shit than just what motherfuckers are called dick riding. You know, we ain't just dick riding each other on some, oh, we with them because they static with them. Nah, that's not even why we cool with them.
But to really understand Q50's story, we gotta go back to the beginning, way back to where he grew up. because his upbringing shaped everything that came after. Q50 grew up split between Chicago and Gary, Indiana. His family had deep connections to the streets. We're talking ties to Hit City and Low Light, areas where things were serious. And from a young age, Q50 had dreams. He wanted to be a basketball player. He wanted to make it out the legal way. But the streets had other plans. By the time he hit high school, he was already fighting, already getting pulled into gang life. And that's when he started repping with a crew that would change his life forever: the Bloodhounds. Now let me tell y'all about the Bloodhounds, because this crew is central to everything. The Bloodhounds weren't just some random group. They were formed as a link-up between multiple sets: Drill City, MTV 079, 400 East, and Chris World. Most of the members came from Drill City, and that became their main territory, their home base. And one of the founding members? That was Lil Jeff, Q50's own cousin. These two were blood-related and street-connected, which meant their bond ran deep. But the formation of the Bloodhounds came with drama. See, Drill City had originally been part of something called Lawn City, but internal beefs started popping off. There were robberies, betrayals, all kinds of messy situations. Eventually, Drill City split off and did their own thing. And when you split from a crew like that, you create enemies. The Bloodhounds immediately had beef with sets like a Trey Mob and Hip Squad. The streets were divided, and the tension was thick. Let's talk about Lil Jeff for a minute, because his story is heartbreaking and important. When Jeff was just 11 years old, he witnessed the murder of someone named Kenny Mack.
Hey, Jug, on my dead grandma phone, you alive? I damn near shed in a telephone now. That hurt me a little bit. I was like, dang, it's real. Long live Kenny Mack. I was there. I witnessed that. We was by the lake. I think ever since then, I've been. That's probably what it was. I feel like they clapped my homie.
Can you imagine being that young and seeing something so traumatic? That experience changed him forever. Just like Q50, Jeff had dreams of making it out through basketball. He was working on his game, trying to get good enough to make varsity. But when tryouts came around, he didn't make the team. And with no other options, no other path forward, he turned deeper into the streets. The trenches became his home.
I was 16. Around that time,
you was doing the soldier boy.
I was trying to play basketball, but that's around the time I ain't make the varsity team. So at 16 was when I was realizing this for real. I don't know what the I'm gonna do. Cause you know, after that point, it's like once you don't make that team, it's over.
Before he started rapping solo, Jeff actually appeared in music videos for other Chicago artists like Z Money and J Boogie. He was in the background, part of the scene, but eventually, he stepped out front and started making his own name. Now here's where things get dark. And I gotta say, everything I'm about to tell you is based on rumors, street talk, and lyrics. Nothing's been proven in court, but the streets talk, and they were saying Jeff and Q50's names loud. In 2021, a member of a Trey Mob named Clay was killed. Rumors immediately linked Jeff and Q50 to the murder. Then, not long after, someone named Ruga was killed in Drill City territory. The streets were heating up. Of course, retaliation followed. That's how these cycles work. A bloodhound named Lil Crew was later shot and killed, and Jeff's homie Vert allegedly rapped about these hits on tracks called Piss Me Off and Live or Die, dropping details that made people pay attention. November 2022 brought one of the most talked about incidents in this whole saga. A guy named Boogie from 9-5 Mob was shot outside a McDonald's. His brother was with him and survived, but Boogie didn't make it. Here's what made this even more eerie. This was the same McDonald's where Lil J had been shot back in 2013. The same location, like, what are the odds? And to make matters worse, Boogie's mother was also hit during the attack. She survived, but imagine the trauma of that situation. This wasn't just street beef. This affected families. Q50 allegedly bragged about this murder in multiple songs. Coffin, Splash Bros, 762. He was dropping references and details that made people believe he was involved. And 9-5 Mob? They responded with their own track called Get Even. The diss songs were becoming a body count scorecard. Early 2023 brought another devastating loss. Z Money, a Bloodhound member who Jeff had literally appeared in videos with, was shot and killed. His death hit the crew hard, but it also caused internal problems. After Z Money died, there was a split between Trap City and Drill City. These were supposed to be allied sets, but something broke down. Rumors said the beef started over a stolen chain, which sounds small, but in the streets, disrespect is disrespect. Q50 later claimed that Z Money's killer was locked up, suggesting justice had been served in some form. But the streets were also saying that Jeff and Q50 allegedly avenged Z Money by killing someone named Lil Pooh from Trap City. Again, this is all unconfirmed, but the rumors were thick. Despite all the alleged violence, Q50 wasn't untouchable. He got shot in the leg. Not life-threatening, but definitely a wake-up call. Most people would take that as a sign to fall back. But Q50? He bragged about it in his music. On tracks like Coffin and 7. 62, he referenced getting shot and surviving. Shortly after Q50 got hit, the Bloodhounds allegedly retaliated by killing someone named Lil from Trap City. The back and forth was relentless, and nobody was backing down.
Caller heard 6 gunshots, witness male black wearing black clothing, shooting into a white vehicle, possibly a Toyota Camry.
Lil Jeff and Q50 mocked Lil's death in multiple tracks: No Tomorrow, Make It Bar, and Splash Brothers. They weren't just rapping, they were taunting. They were using their music as a weapon to disrespect the dead and provoke their enemies. Later that year, they allegedly shot Glenn, an OG from Trap City, at a gas station. Both Jeff and Q50 referenced this hit in their lyrics, and the details matched up. It was like they were giving matching testimonies through their music.
Man, get them people
They should never been trying to kick it down the line of green.
Damn.
That's it, $10. It cost him his whole hustle career. Everything he worked hard for.
But it wasn't just about shootings. Jeff and Q50 were also getting into other drama. They robbed a guy named 6300 Bretto during what was supposed to be a weed sale. It was a setup, and after they took his stuff, they went live on Instagram mocking him. They were making a spectacle out of it.
It's a clone, it's a ghost. Y'all ain't talking about. Oh. Yeah, this Glide, this the clone. This Slide V2. Y'all first one up, remember?
Around the same time, another guy named TMZ Slide was shot, allegedly by Bloodhounds, and Jeff claimed on social media that the victim was on life support. Whether that was true or just more trolling, it added to their reputation.
I ain't heard from that Slide, man, since he crashed into that crib, man. Life got brought from life support. I say, all my pain keep me going. Slide getting annoying. I just want to see them pull the plug.
Q50 was getting bold on social media, boasting that he was up 8 hats, street slang for being responsible for 8 deaths. Whether that was true or exaggerated, it showed his mindset. He was keeping score, and he wanted everyone to know. And now we get to the most tragic part of this story, the moment that changed everything for Q52. During a slide into Trap City's hood, Jeff was chasing a target. He was on the hunt, moving with purpose, but what he didn't know was that he was being set up for an ambush. His enemies were waiting. Lil Jeff was shot 19 times in the chest. 19 times, he died on the spot. There was no hospital, no survival story. He was gone.
Motherfuckers that hang them, they know what they did.
So, okay.
They know what they did.
So, okay, the Bloodhounds, y'all was cool.
That
was my homie.
He stole the chain, bro. We tried like he took it. He stole my homie chain.
Was that South Jackson?
Nah, brother. One of the other guys. This other one. Both letting him wear the J. He come back like he got into a high speed with 12. Line saying he lost it.
Y'all, Q50 took Jeff's death hard. This wasn't just his homie, this was his cousin. They grew up together, came up in the streets together, built the Bloodhounds together, and now he was gone. After Jeff's death, Q50 started focusing more on his rap career. It was like he realized that the streets weren't sustainable, that everyone ends up dead or in prison. But even with that realization, he couldn't fully walk away. Just when you think things couldn't get worse, they did. 1 month after Jeff's death, another Bloodhound named Lil Scoom was killed.
Do we have a location where that person was shot?
Is that
Charlie, just watch the clock. Just. Please.
10-1-89 is St. Lawrence. Shots fired at the police. 89 is St. Lawrence. Shots fired
About 700 East Side, 89 place. 700 East Side, 89 place. 10-1, they're shooting at the police.
And this death was especially suspicious because people believed Scoom was set up. Allegedly, a woman named Nini backdoored him, meaning she betrayed him and led him into a trap. Q50's camp was convinced she was responsible, and after Scoom's death, Nini reportedly fled Chicago. What made this even more eerie was that Scoom had actually warned about betrayal in his music. In songs like Signs, he talked about watching out for snakes. It's like he knew something was coming, but he couldn't avoid it. The Bloodhounds also had ongoing beef with another crew called Risky Road. Before his death, Scoom had dissed a deceased Risky Road member named Lil 30 in his music. That disrespect didn't sit well. Rumors started circulating that a guy named Turbo from Risky Road was one of Scoom's shooters. And here's where it gets wild. A fake fan page allegedly got Turbo to essentially self-snitch online. He said too much, posted too much, and the streets caught on. September 2024 brought more violence. Risky Road allegedly tried sliding on the Bloodhounds, looking for revenge. But one of their own, CEO Hawkham, ended up dead. He was shot in the head before he could even fire a single round. Rumors immediately pointed to Q50 as the shooter, and Q50 didn't exactly deny it. On a track called King Draco, he bragged about head-tapping Hawkham. He was putting it in his music, almost daring people to do something about it. Risky Road allegedly tried to get back at Q50 by ambushing him outside a studio, but things went chaotic. A YouTuber named Brandon Buckingham had a cameraman with him who got grazed in the neck during the shooting.
I just shot. They just shot. A lot of shots. I didn't get hit. I don't think so. I'm okay. I busted my knee, my hand. Well, there's blood all over me. Did I get hit? Or is that my hand? Did I get hit? Oh, did I get hit? Did I get hit? Oh, I got hit. Okay.
A Philly rapper named Skrilla was also there and got shot, though he survived. Skrilla ended up dropping a track called Shot Rack.
I want to dig and really great. I went with Bursky. And when all that shit, why would the fuck would somebody be shooting? What? First of all, what make y'all even think somebody gonna shoot at me? What the fuck have I did for a nigga to shoot at me?
In response to the whole situation. Meanwhile, Q50 denied even being at the scene. He claimed he wasn't there, that it had nothing to do with him. Whether that's true or strategic, only he knows. Around this time, fans started noticing something weird. Q50 unfollowed Vert on social media, and Vert posted that he had no manager, which people took as a shot at Q50, who had been managing him. Some people believed the fallout was over Vert's ties to Trap City, the same crew the Bloodhounds had beef with. A leaked phone call suggested Vert was missing his old crew, which would have been a major betrayal in Q50's eyes. But then Q50 went live and addressed it directly. He said they were still cool, that they just had disagreements. Whether that was damage control or the truth, the tension was obvious, as if Q50 didn't have enough enemies. In 2025, he started dissing FBG members like Wooski, Duck, and Brick. Now, FBG hasn't been as active since Duck was killed, but they still have shooters. They still have people who are loyal and willing to retaliate. This was a risky move, because Q50 was essentially opening up a new front in an already dangerous war. But at this point, it seemed like he didn't care anymore. And that brings us to where Q50 is now. Despite his talent, despite opportunities to make it out, he seems to be spiraling. He was caught on camera snorting pills and dozing off in traffic. He's still bragging about being up 8 hats, still living in the past, still tied to the streets. Fans are genuinely worried about him. They see the pattern. So many Chicago drill rappers who had talent, who had a chance, ended up dead or in prison because they couldn't leave the streets alone. King Von Lil Durk's legal troubles, FBG Duck, Lil Jeff, the list goes on. Q50 has the talent to make it. He has the platform. He has fans who want to see him succeed. But if he doesn't find a way to separate himself from the violence, from the beef, from the lifestyle that's already taken so many of his friends, he's heading down the same path. Y'all, this is the story of Q50, a talented rapper trapped between his past and his potential future. He's survived shootings, scams, ambushes, and losses that would break most people. But survival isn't the same as living. The streets of Chicago have taken so many young men with potential. The question now is, will Q50 be another statistic, or will he find a way to break the cycle? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, his story is far from over.